All right, so we'll just start with talking about the beginning of the band.
Jake's was like a high school band, more or less, or the Jakes were a high school band. Kind of started just for fun as a hobby, and actually the name was an acronym of the first 5 members. And it started to get a little more serious, and there were a couple lineup changes, and we basically stayed the Jakes until we got signed. We realized that was the last time we could, even change the name. So I don't think it was like huge. I think it was more like of a personal thing for us. Like maybe as far as like our songwriting went, like we felt more comfortable and more associated to a name that was our own.
I think the songwriting that's occurred in Young the Giant was maybe a little more. Obviously, as we got older, writing became more mature.
So where did the name Young the Giant come from? It's just
from just thin air.
Just thin air.
It was kind of like at the end of this really long process where we were trying to come up with something, and everyone had something to say about every single name we could muster up. So we just got to the point where we were really frustrated with hearing everyone's opinion, and we were overthinking and finding ourselves overthinking, which was really kind of a hindrance. So then Samir just popped up with Young the Giant one of these days, and we all felt like it was cool. It kind of resembled something that we'd like to do, and we just told everyone, we don't care if you guys don't like it.
Right.
This is going to be it from now on. So I think really the thing that we take from it is it was like spontaneity in the midst of all this like just BS really, and that's kind of been like something that we've liked to stick to.
How would you describe the band's overall style and genre? Because it's hard to describe.
I guess the fact that all of us kind of come from different musical backgrounds and listen to different things while growing up, and everyone kind of has their own style, and everyone contributes something to the writing process. So having 5 people trying to create at the same time can be kind of chaotic, but we've kind of like gone to the groove of it.
There are a lot of bands now that kind of rely on, you just get to a point where you rely so much on having tracks played behind you to sound good that it kind of, I feel like it's missing the point a little bit. So I think that's one of the things that makes us a little bit different, and it's just we try to be honest about what we do. We really enjoy playing music together, and that's really all we do is play music live, so that it's kind of taken over our lives, and I think that's kind of the message that we like to get across, is that we enjoy having these shows and having this rapport with the audience, and trying to create something individual and special every single night. So.
What does it feel like to have gotten so big almost overnight in the music business?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a question of perspective. In touring for opening for other bands, we've met a lot of people who have spent huge amounts of time, worked so hard and really not gotten any sort of level of like success, at least as far as like being self-sufficient. And for us, we felt like we worked at it for a while. And, we did like a good almost 2 years in a van and trailer, and that takes a lot out of you, even if you're young. It's just a lot of driving and a lot of having to wake up early and setting up your own stuff day in, day out. So I think the fact that it went from that to this so quickly is it's kind of a godsend for us, because we're getting to the point where it's like, man, I'd like for this to start getting a little bit easier, and then it kind of
we know bands like that we've toured with that were in a van and trailer for 10 years. And finally got a tour bus after 10 years, and the fact that we do feel like we did pay our dues, but to nowhere near the extent of bands like that have been subjected to those type of confines for so long. So we do consider ourselves lucky, and we appreciate every second of it. But
is there like a secret you think you guys have, or is it just right time, right place?
I think it's a whole bunch of things. Having the right people just helping you out and supporting you, both as far as like the band is concerned, and as far as like our personal lives are concerned. Having people that you can turn to and really get genuine support and good feedback and stuff. And I think a lot of it, we found most of the success always comes from when like people actually get to experience the live show, and that's when we get the strongest reactions from people. So it's probably something to do with that, and that's really just something that we want to be able to take. If we're lucky enough to have a long career, then we'd like to be able to take that into every record. Keep that in mind.
Is there a moment on stage that sticks out in your head so far?
A few weeks ago, at the start of this tour, we played 2 nights at the Wiltern. And that's really kind of where we got Los Angeles is where we started playing a lot of shows, and we did so many just really bad shows. They're like dive bars, and no one will show out. And you hear your friends say they're gonna come, and they don't come. And so it was nice to finally get to play, LA with all of our friends and all of our family showing up, and 2 nights at the Wiltern, which is just a really beautiful, very historical theater. And then when I walked out, I was telling someone this. I'd just gotten my contacts, like new contacts, so I put them in, and like one of the first things I saw with those contacts on was walking out and seeing this entire room filled with people. And I mean, I couldn't see like individually my family and friends and stuff, but I knew that they were out there, and it was a very like special moment, thinking about how far we've come, and especially so quickly. Felt like very grateful at the moment.
Is it all just kind of a blur at this moment?
It's not. It's kind of a blur, but it's not like a blur. But yeah, I mean, the Wiltern was definitely really special for all of us, considering I grew up in Southern California, so to play that venue 2 nights in a row on a weekend was just like incredible. I mean, the VMAs definitely stick out, but that was such a blur that happened so quickly that it's kind of hard to remember it. But I just remember watching, while we weren't performing, we were like sitting up front, surrounded by all these crazy, whatever celebrities and whatnot, and just watching like Jay-Z and Kanye 15 feet away from me like rap is kind of ridiculous. But
is there any spot that you're really hoping you get to that you haven't?
We've gotten to see pretty much all of the United States at this point. I would like to do SNL. That's kind of
I want to go to Barcelona.
Barcelona.
I go to Spain.
Yeah.
A lot of places in Spain.
We don't want to play
good
music
things
there,
about
though. We
Spain.
just
I was going to say, I've heard good things about just
We
Spain.
just want to go to the beach.
Yeah.
As far as the band's concerned, I think there are a couple of those like really iconic shows or opportunities, and one of them for me is definitely growing up and watching the bands play on SNL and seeing what they're able to do, and like if they actually can pull it off live, and if they're going to try to pull something special out. So it'd be cool to get that opportunity.
What bands really have inspired you, or did you watch growing up? Or even now, what acts inspire you?
I mean, I guess they're acts or bands that inspire us because of like the way that they've been able to, make this into something like real and like sustainable. And then I mean, I guess Radiohead kind of just fits the bill for everything for us.
Radiohead.
They've definitely gotten to the point where they can do pretty much whatever they want. They're still putting out great, in our minds, like really high quality, like pushing the boundaries of music for the most part. That's in this day and age, it's like something that's very difficult to actually get. So they're an inspiration for us.
What's it been like touring with Group Love? Are they a cool group of guys?
They're awesome. We're good friends with them. We actually first met them. They opened for us at the Troubadour in LA.
Okay.
We had a Sunday night residency at the Troubadour. It was like 4 or 5 weekends in the summer, and it sold so poorly that we had to cancel it like the second one in because no one came. And we met them, and they were really chill. And then I guess 2 years later in the summer, we toured with them in Australia. We opened for them because they're doing really well over there, and now they're opening for us guys. It's just kind of like this
crazy.
back and forth, and those guys are so talented, and they have so much energy, and are really cool dudes and women. Woman.
Is it frustrating when oh yeah, I'll be there, and then they don't, and then now to this point they're probably kicking themselves saying I could have been at
it's strange. Like you never want to be like that's what you get because
but
there are times where like we would just like beg people like please like we have to sell X amount of tickets, or like we just don't want to look like we don't want to look like a bunch of jackasses playing to an empty room. And now it's like sometimes like especially in like Los Angeles or New York where we have a lot of friends, it's like I'm sorry, there's literally no more room we can put on the guest list. Like it's at fire code, so it's such a complete reversal. But we definitely don't hate them like for it or give them any crap for it, because we've been in that spot where it's like you can't go somewhere. You want to support your friends, but sometimes you just can't do it. So it is what it is.
Any final words, especially for people who may not get to see your show? Tell them to come out.
Stay in school.
Stay in school.
I mean, we'll be back. We plan on touring in the States like pretty extensively over the next couple years, I guess. So hopefully, if you don't get a chance to see us tonight, you get a chance next time. And we really enjoy the communion of live music. So we like to share it with as many people as possible.